All right, guys, so I'm super excited because today you're going to get to use a supply that no other classes have gotten to use yet. It's brand new. So I wasn't able to order enough of these special brushes for everybody in the class, but it doesn't take very long to do this part of the painting. So as soon as you're done experimenting with your brush, you might want to pass it to a friend at your table so that they can experiment as well. So this is a brush that is very similar to the brushes that Japanese painters use when they're doing their cherry blossom trees or other types of paintings. So we're going to use that brush to create our tree branches like you see the one I created here. Now, I realize that some of you guys have used up all three or all two of your backgrounds that you made. It's okay to do this technique today on a blank piece of paper. I have some extras up there. Or maybe you didn't get to use one of your backgrounds yesterday and you can also put it on a background. So when I demonstrate today, I'm going to put mine on top of this painted background. I'm going to adjust the camera so you can see it a little bit better, and then we'll get started. Okay, so you can see I'm using a clear palette. Up on the material table, I'll have a box that looks like this. That's where I keep those clear palettes. So when you're ready to experiment with this step, grab one from that material table. Now you're going to take the watered down black paint that we used last class, and you're going to start with just about the size of a dime dot on your palette. Don't make it any bigger than that. Then get that reference close to you. Maybe you're sharing it with a partner so that both of you guys can look at it and think about what you see in these examples. That really helped me when I made my earlier example that you just saw. Dip your brush in the paint, and then starting off of one of the edges here, begin to make either your branch or your tree. Now I think I'm gonna make a tree shape with this one. And I'm noticing from my observation that tree branches as well as trees are thicker at the bottom. So to make a thicker line, I'm simply gonna press down with my brush. That's gonna already create a thicker line. And I also notice that trees aren't perfect lines. So I'm not gonna make a perfect line. I'm gonna make it kind of curve and go out a little bit. Notice it gets thinner at the top. One of the reasons it gets thinner is because I'm just pressing less with my brush. So a tree kind of makes a Y shape. Same with branches. Now I'm barely touching the tip of my brush and my line gets thinner and thinner. And then I'm gonna keep thinking about the Y shape that I see as I make my branches get super skinny at the end. It's really relaxing to paint this way, I think. Now less is more, so I might just stop there. And I'll show you how we begin to add some more details a little bit later with our leaves. All right, so now I get to use a new material, a Q-tip, to start to dot in some of the leaves around my branches. And again, I'm gonna use my reference, and I notice that most of the time leaves or what grows on a tree is growing from the thinner parts of the branches, especially the ends. So that's where I'm gonna start. And I'm using fall colors, and you guys will be too, because it's much closer to our fall season than it is springtime right now. So I'm just simply adding the effect of leaves by dabbing different fall colors onto where I think leaves might be on my branch. Pretty fun. And I'll show you what this looks like when it's done.